This is News Center 1.
Good evening, I'm Shad Olson. This is News Center 1 at 5:30. There is finally hope for sufferers of the deadly hepatitis C virus. A new drug offers the promise of a cure, but at what cost? For American heroes that have dedicated their lives to our country, a course of treatment with that new hepatitis C drug costs a staggering $40,000. Now a blame game is being played out on a national stage with fingers being pointed in all directions. Congress, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and a man named Dr. Raymond Shahnazi. Executive producer Aaliyah Wilson breaks down the drug debate.
By all accounts, the Department of Veterans Affairs is an agency with an image problem. From a Denver hospital more than $1 billion over budget to reports of excessive wait times at some VA clinics, national headlines have shed an unfavorable light on the federal agency.
You can see where this thing is made for TV and the frustration of the American public that again feeds back into the idea that the VA is not doing things right. The sad part of this is a huge success story, or should be, for what the VA does. From the research we do, what we do collectively as a nation to solve problems.
The success story being that there is now a cure for the hundreds of thousands of veterans suffering from the life-threatening disease hepatitis C. The frustration being that the man credited with developing this cure, Dr. Raymond Shahnazi, may have utilized VA resources without giving the VA a share of the pie.
For those who are unaware, federal agencies are in fact authorized to assert ownership in inventions made by federal employees using federal resources. Unfortunately, this program appears to be habitually underused, resulting in tremendous losses to veterans and American taxpayers.
A House Committee on Veterans Affairs and the VA itself are now trying to discover whether Dr. Shahnazi used VA resources to help develop this new and expensive course of treatment.
This drug, reportedly developed by a VA employee, resulted in an $11 billion sale and a $444 million personal profit to that VA employee.
The pharmaceutical company that now owns the drug sells it back to the VA at a cost of upwards of $40,000 for a full course of treatment, leaving the government and taxpayers with an $8 billion tab. What is even more disturbing is that in other countries, the full course of treatment with the exact same drug is only $900.
Is there anything that would prevent the VA from buying a veteran a first-class ticket and allowing them to fly to one of these countries and purchase the drug for $900?
In a statement provided to me by the pharmaceutical company, the company claims that they have adopted a tiered pricing policy. That means prices have been reduced for low-income countries.
There's no question the majority of drugs, new drugs brought to market, are developed in the United States. The research is done here, it's brought here. Then other countries share in that wealth of knowledge that we get, that we share with the world, and we should.
Our veterans and taxpayers should be benefiting from these inventions. It's as simple as that.
On January 20th, the House Committee sent an email to Dr. Shahnazi asking him to testify in front of the committee in order to address questions they had about his actions. On January 21st, Shahnazi put in paperwork saying he was retiring from the VA. That retirement took effect on February 1st, 2 days before the House hearing. South Dakota's representative, Kristi Noem, is not part of the committee reviewing the actions of the VA and Dr. Shahnazi, but she says Congress will not stop investigating until there are answers.
But they won't stop gathering information and finding out if there was an instance where maybe laws were broken, or if there's some way that we can change the law to prevent that from ever happening again.
For members of Congress, it is critical to examine past mistakes in order to forge a new future for American service members.
Regardless of what has taken place in the past, the change in leadership throughout the agency is beginning to change the culture.
A future of hope. A future that comes full circle back to the local men and women striving to provide our veterans with the quality of care they deserve, no matter the cost.
That is our executive producer, Aaliyah Wilson, reporting tonight. And our producer also reached out to Dr. Shahnazi for his side of the story to ask him for his update and receive this statement. There is much misinformation about a number of issues, including the inventorship of Sovaldi. This drug was not invented by me. It was invented by Mr. Jeremy Clark while he worked at Pharmasset, the company I co-founded in 1998 that was acquired by Gilead after I had stepped down as a director and chairman of the board for several years. Saving lives and curing is what it is all about. So much waste in the VA, but this drug is not waste. It works. Dr. Shahnazi